Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to the Dogger Football channel and Gunner Gossip TV. We are broadcasting live on both channels, so if you are over on the Gunner Gossip TV, please do come over and give her a subscribe. And also, if you're on the Dogger Football channel, please do give me a subscribe as well. So lovely to have you. How are you?
Thank you so much. Yeah, like we said, we're both excited for this. It's gonna be nice to chat a bit about Liverpool and Arsenal. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. It's great to have you. Great to have you on because I'm kind of like sort of racking my brain on the last time I had you. I think it was when we had that. It was like I did like a wee sort of mini series of like chatting
Yeah,
to like fans of like their seasons. I think it was that. So it's been a while.
yeah, it has. I mean, I think the last time we spoke on my channel, I think we were with Reese and we were chatting about the Scotland game. I think that was the latest one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
it's been a while, but yeah, I'm excited to chat with you again. It'd be good.
No, it's great. It's great to have you. And yes, as I said, we are broadcasting on both channels, so please do come over and check us both out. Obviously, over on the Duggar Football channel and over on Gonna Gossip TV. But yes, it is Arsenal against Liverpool. Um, so, first of all, how are you feeling about this game? Because it seems to me, and it seems to a lot of people, that a lot of people are writing off Arsenal for this game, which I think is really, really the very, very least.
It's so tough because obviously for me, we did win in our Champions League game, but it was so poor. And I think the bit that I'm worried about, obviously defensively, I don't really know what we're going to go with because Timber's not really been training, Calafori's not going to be available for this game, and obviously Sleep won't be here. So I think defensively it might be a bit of a problem because I don't know who's sort of available, but I think in our attack, it's been a bit of a problem recently. Obviously, Martinelli for me is having a lot of confidence now, which is obviously really good. Saka, it should be available for this game. I do expect Saka to start, but in our attack, that's sort of where we're struggling. And obviously, do need a striker, but for this game, we're just going to have to deal with what we have. The midfield, I think for me, obviously, Odegaard's a big miss for this game, and we've had to deal without him for a little while now. And I think Trossard works in that role, so I feel like Arteta just needs to go with what works well and what we know works well. Um, but I think with our injuries, a point wouldn't be the worst result, but like we said off air, Arsenal have fallen behind, obviously losing to Bournemouth. If we lose this, then I don't see how we come back in a title race because Man
Mm-hmm.
City, you're not going to drop points. You might drop 3 points maybe throughout the season, but you're not going to drop like 6 points or how many points we need you to drop. So I do think it'll be a competitive game. I do think we'll both be in it, but I think for Arsenal we just need to win this game because I think if we beat Bournemouth, then I would have been happy with a draw. But it's because we've fallen behind, and if we want to win the league, we've obviously got to win this one. But the injuries are a big problem. We're facing them right now, which is tough. But yeah, I just really hope I see a better performance because our performances lately just haven't really been good enough.
Yeah, I've got to say, like the last couple of games I've watched, like I I know he went down to 10 men against Bournemouth, but I think
Mm.
what really struck me is the lack of sort of chances you like the chances that you had. Like um, I don't think you had a shot on target like before you went down to 10 men, and actually after that there was only one shot on goal.
Yeah. It was bad, honestly. It was really interesting that game because before Sleeper went off, we were doing all of the right things like controlling the game, but we're not able to take our chances, and that's our biggest problem right now. And with these injuries, it doesn't help, and we're lacking
Yeah,
that Odegaard. He's that creativity guy. He's a different sort of maker in that midfield, and we don't have him. So it is tough, really, and I think we're going to really struggle to score goals. I mean, set pieces is our great thing for us. We're really good at
yeah,
scoring goals in that area, but yeah, I hope as well defensively we've got a very strong defense out because I don't really know what lineup we're going to go for either. But I think when you play Liverpool, you're not going to have many chances. You just need to take them, make the most of it. But it's going to be a tough game, and like you said before, Liverpool are looking more favourites. It's not really looking like too good for us, but I think sometimes when Arsenal are under pressure, we sometimes do well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Like I don't really know what to expect from Arsenal because we haven't been good, but the team will know they have to win this game, or the title race will be slipping out of our hands now.
Yeah, absolutely. That Shakhtar game, that did feel a bit nervy, didn't it?
It was honestly that was so bad, honestly. Because do you know what the first obviously we got that goal, but when we got that goal, I was really thinking, we're gonna, beat them 4 or 5-0 because it felt like one of those games we had a lot of the possession. We were just quite good to watch, but it's like we said before, we're not able to take our chances, and that's what's the most
Mm,
disappointing thing. And that performance was probably one of the worst of the season. Like I know we got the 3 points, and if we play like that against Liverpool, I think it's going to be really bad. But I don't really care how we kind of beat Liverpool going into the game. I think if we win, win's a win. But for that performance, it was just so flat. And I reckon the team are probably thinking about the game against Liverpool because that's obviously the big game. I mean, for me, if we can't win the league, then I think we have to sort of maybe put our eyes a bit more on the Champions League. Maybe it's obviously hard to balance both, but yeah, it was just a very like poor lackluster performance. I know there were a few changes in the team, but like a Jesus or a Sterling should do a little bit more. I want to see a bit
yeah.
more from them, especially Jesus really, because he's been here for a while. No, Sterling's only sort of just come back into the team, and he's not really started many minutes, and now we're seeing it a bit more, but. Um, yeah, it's just not really good enough. And like I said, if we play like that against you guys, then it's going to be a long day.
Well, I absolutely hate the favourites tag. I absolutely hate it. I
Mm,
think it gives you more pressure as well.
yeah.
When people say, your favourites going, I honestly think you never should be going into a game favourites because,
Mm,
as I say, form does go out the window for these kind of
yeah.
these big games. But the fact that we've had obviously Chelsea last week and now obviously Arsenal this week, I think it's going to tell where we are. But I feel like it was a very very good win against Leipzig. And
Yeah.
I think as well you've got to say I know you won 1-0, we won 1-0,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is going to be a very, very tough game for both sides as
Yeah.
well. Let me just go into the chat. Good evening, Stephen. Stephen's going 3-1 to Liverpool. Well, if we get that, I'll be very, very happy as well. Big up, John Conway. Hope you are very well, my friend. Uh, Chris Welsh as well. Big up both. Hope you're well. I am very well, and I imagine Sophie is as well. Looking forward to this game. Let's just say that. Always is a big, big game between Liverpool and Arsenal as well. Stephen, how am I doing tonight? I am doing very, very well, my friend. I am been a bit of a busy day, but we all know. We all know when it is a busy day as well. Chris has said must win for Arsenal. A draw is better for Liverpool. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think. I mean, do you know, what, it's so hard because Man City obviously are right behind you, and I don't know how many points they are behind you, but I think they're quite close. I mean, you need a. I think both teams need a win, but I think if you
Mm,
got a draw, that's probably a better result because for us, we're so far behind. If we draw, I think you're above 5 points. It's a big gap.
yeah,
So, and do
yeah.
you know what? It's so early on in the season, and do you know if it was near the end, it'd be a bit different. You could, but it's early on, and I don't really see you dropping a lot of points throughout the season because you've done really well. I know you did lose a
Mm,
game, but since that, you've done so well, and yeah, you look really strong this season. So
yeah.
I think with last season, I'd probably felt more confident because it seemed like it was just Arsenal, Man City in the title race. So, I mean, I know some people didn't really put Liverpool in the title race, and I think they should because it's sort of a new start for you guys with a new manager. So, I think a draw wouldn't be a bad result for Liverpool. I think if we got a draw, I would be disappointed because, like I said, we're a bit behind you guys, and we need to make sure we're maybe 1 or 2 points behind, not like a big gap behind. So,
Mm.
yeah.
It's good. I honestly think if you lose this game 7 points at this stage in the season, it's not mathematical, but it would
Possible,
be
yeah.
huge, huge to come back from. I would say as well. I know it's silly to say it must have been early, but it feels like that with Arsenal and their performances. Yeah, I agree. Um, Arsenal just like discipline and don't seem to learn. Yeah, three red cards in 8 games. I was looking at this, obviously, taking away stats, they can be misleading at times. But I was watching match the day on Saturday,
Yeah.
and an interesting stat came up. You've had 18 red cards since the start of 2019, and that has actually been with Arteta as manager.
Yeah.
Do you have a discipline problem?
Do you know what it is? I think with the cards for this season that we've had, I mean, we can argue if the rules are right for it. We know that with the referees they are inconsistent and that's a fact.
Yeah.
But I think we've had a lot of red cards. I think if the rules are the rules, you have to accept that. And I think with the one with I think it was Trossard's one was the one that I thought was very harsh, and I think that one I wouldn't really give. But with the one with Declan Rice, that would be an example where you'd probably say he hasn't learned. I mean, obviously, watching it back, it's still very harsh and unfair, and I watch it and I think at the time you don't really see him kicking the ball away, but I think they've got to be clever. They've got to be more smart in in these situations because they know the referees will want to get these. Like I do think the referees have a bit something against Arsenal a bit more. Um, I know the referee decisions are unfair throughout the league, but you have to be more clever because they will send you off if they know they can with the laws
Mm,
and the rules. So I think it's about us maybe being a bit more smart, a bit more wise, being sensible because Declan Rice in that game knew he was on the yellow card and he knew we
yeah.
needed him. So he had to probably think to himself, I've got to stay here and not mess this up. And obviously that happened. So yeah, I kind of think I do see more red cards happening. Like if we got one against Liverpool, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, when Arteta came in, we had tons of red cards, and then we managed that discipline, and we sort of had
Yeah.
once every so often. But now it's becoming like a bit too regularly, and I'm thinking that if I see a red card in the next maybe 3 games, then I think it's something that we have to talk about. Um, I think they have been harsh red cards, but like we said, it's the rules and the players need to understand that and be more clever. But we've got to really learn from this. Like, if we want to win the league, if Saliba didn't get sent off, I probably would tell you we'd get 3 points because
Mm.
the team the game would have still flowed in that way, and we probably would have maybe won 1-0 or something. So yeah, I just think it's disappointing all these red cards, and we just need to learn from our mistakes really, which we're not really doing at the moment.
And I imagine it would have infuriated you at the weekend when you saw obviously Saliba getting red carded, but Tosun for Chelsea, same
Mm.
incident, Jota going through on goal, given as a yellow card.
I know it's like I said before. We keep seeing all these inconsistent decisions being made. Like if you're going to send Saliba off for that, okay, but you've got to send the other players off that are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Um, and like it's like the Man City game, really. Like we saw, obviously Trossard got sent off. That's fine, it happened. But at the same time, one of the Man City players did the same thing, and they didn't get sent off.
yeah.
So I think it's just about if those are the rules, then okay. But it's just got to be consistent, which is we're not seeing right now, and it's quite frustrating for everyone that have these decisions being made against them. So yeah, it's not ideal at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go into the chat again. MJ, hello, mate. Your brother got to know you through Almighty Blue Channel. Hope Josie smacks United today. Yes, I hope so as well. And if you've seen Manchester United's team, apparently Mazraoui is the attacking midfielder. Yes, I think Ten Hag has lost his mind. Let's just say that. But yeah, going on to this game at the weekend. What have you made of Liverpool so far this season?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, I was sort of thinking about this. You had, at the start of the season, it's like a new manager, and you didn't really make a lot of changes in the summer. And I kind of feel like, yes, there's some players you probably think you need to move on, but that squad you have is a very good squad, and I think he's come in, and I think the squad he's got is very good, and it'd be interesting to see. which players he gets in, and obviously I know there's a few contracts, with Mo Salah and all of that happening. But I think for the season, like I think a lot of people did write Liverpool off for challenging or potentially winning it. Like I know the last season or two you haven't you've fallen a bit behind Arsenal a little bit, not by a lot, but um I think people sort of didn't expect you to be as good as you are under a new manager and thought you might have a little bit of a quiet season. I know the season has just started, so it's going to be interesting how it does go. But I think they've both done very, very well. I think under a new manager as well, so early on, I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you'd be happy with the start. And yeah, I think you could definitely win the league. I mean, it's so hard with Man City because we've learnt this so many times, and this. When you fall short by a point or by 2 points, it's so frustrating. Like Man City, you have to
Yeah,
be perfect when you're up against them, and that's so annoying. But I think for Liverpool, I think you're doing good. No, like I said before, you lost a game, but you know, these things happen in football. You can't always win every game, and I think the start you've had is very good. And you're up there top for a reason. And Man City this season don't have Rodri, so maybe they potentially might drop more points. I mean, I know against Newcastle that was a big surprise. So
yeah,
I think for Arsenal, maybe as neutrals, it'd be good for Arsenal to win, so the title race is more exciting because, like you said, if we lose, then it puts us out of it, and it's just, I
mm,
mean, I think it'll be hard, really. I suppose if you win the league and it's like Arsenal have fallen again, and we've not really made the most of that, but I think Liverpool could have a great season. I mean, I think you've got to go as further as you can with the league. And yeah, I mean, I think as well, winning trophies like at the FA Cup, a League Cup, I mean, with your new manager, that'll be very special for him to win in his first season. But you look very, organised, you look very good at the moment, and I think you can't really complain too much. But yeah, this game is going to be very big for sort of how Liverpool might do in the title race, and you do want to win this game really for your season.
yeah, absolutely. It's I know obviously we sort of traded games last season because obviously there was a draw at Anfield. You beat us at the
Yeah,
Emirates in the league, and then we beat you in the
yeah,
in the FA Cup. So yeah, it could be one of those games actually. It could be a could be a very open, expansive game where we could see goals galore, or it could be a very very tight game. And I think as well, we've really toughened up at the back this season. Now, I
yeah,
don't know if that's because of obviously Slot coming in, but there
yeah,
just seems to be more and more defensive, organisational sort of way about us playing at the moment. And I think when you look at the games recently as well, Ryan Gravenberch has been one of the finds of the season. I think him being the number 6 has been amazing. He has been fantastic. And then obviously you've got McAllister,
yeah,
or obviously Curtis Jones now, who's playing that sort of that double pivot now. On fire as well. Salah is. I suppose the one player you'll be very very pleased not to see this weekend is Diogo Jota.
yeah. He always causes us problems. He's that, him and Firmino were those players that were just, yeah. I mean, even with Mo Salah, that's going to be a tough challenge. I mean, like I've said, I mean, I don't know who's available defensively. I could know Ben White and Gabriella, but I mean, Kivior is he's good, but he's not quite,
Mm,
a Timber or Calafiori. So, yeah, defensively we need to make sure that we keep Mo Salah quiet, but it's going to be tough. I mean, even without Jota, you've still got a great side. You've still got, a very organised team, and it's going to be very hard to break you down. And like I said, we won't really have many chances. So if we have any chances, like we need to take them. But like we said, it's always back and forth with Arsenal and Liverpool. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like we said, our form's not been great, but going into this game, anything can happen.
absolutely, yeah. I think the one thing I've noticed about Arsenal this season as well is when you like that Leicester game, for example, you went 2-0 up very very early on, and then Leicester came back into it, and I was thinking, oh, I know what's happening here. And then you find a way to win. And I think
Yeah,
that's the thing with Arsenal. You are finding ways to win. It's a bit like sort of the old sort of Manchester United way, or the
yeah.
Manchester City exactly, finding ways to win. Do you think Do you think this season in particular is the league the priority, or would you say league, Champions League, and the cups?
I think this season Arsenal have to win something because Arteta's been
Mm,
here for a while, and yes, he's made so much progress, but we're tired of going each season without a trophy. Like I'm feeling a bit impatient now. So I
yeah,
think we're in the Carabao Cup. We've got Preston coming up, and we can win that. I believe we've got a good chance. Obviously the FA Cup's the one that I much prefer. So if anything happens, I just want us to take those cups seriously. So I think we've got a great chance to win something in the cups, but obviously, I think against Liverpool, say we lost, I would probably say, let's try and get as close as we can to the league, but let's go out in the Champions League and do it because if Arsenal win the Champions League, then that's obviously incredible. I mean, I don't think we're there
yeah.
yet. I don't think we've got the squad to win it. But ultimately, I do think we could probably get to a semi final this season. I mean, depending on which team you get, and our injuries might come back, and obviously our players that have been injured, we could have a great second half of the season. Um, but like we said, I think with the league, if we lose Liverpool, I'll probably know in my head it's done now, but I think we'd still have to try and get as close as we can to doing that. But yeah, I think the Champions League it should be. I think the league last season was a massive priority because we were really
Mm.
close to doing it, and I really thought we would. But with the Champions League, I just think why not? I mean, like I said, I don't think we could really beat Madrid. I mean. Yeah, we could beat a Man City if we ever faced them. Obviously depending on our squad, but yeah, it's so tough because I don't look at this team and I think we could win the Champions League. I think we need probably maybe a striker, a few more players. But yeah, it's so tough because the league is so hard and it's such a long process and we could be done so early on. So yeah, I think we've got to sort of, not just put our eggs in one basket, go for a few
Mm.
things. But yeah, I think the Champions League, we've got to push ourselves and see if we could really get to a final. And yeah, I mean, I don't think we'd win it, but if we're showing that improvement, I think that'll be
I,
good.
I, I think the one thing that you really want to see is them basically having a go at the League Cup and
Yeah,
the FA Cup. I think I've had a look at what you've done over the past few seasons. You seem to let the cups go, and then it's like a
mm,
case of like focusing on like obviously the Europa League, what you were in last season, and or sorry, a couple of seasons ago, and then you look at like the Epic Cup as well. Like you went out very very early than that, albeit to us of
yeah,
course, but I do think this season you've got a tendency to go for everything.
yeah,
But it is so difficult going up against the juggernaut of
yeah,
that is obviously Manchester City. But that game of the Etihad, I'm going to go back to that because you did so well in that game, especially with 10 men. It would have been one of the greatest things that
yeah,
you would have seen, like defensively, and then to just concede in the 95th minute. It was so heartbreaking. But I've got to say, the way you play like at home is very very good. I think away from home, you play very very well as well.
yeah.
Who who do you think is going to be the biggest sort of key player for Arsenal in this game? Because I look at your team and I think to myself, Martinelli, obviously Saka, if he's fit. I'm not buying into Arteta's mind games. I honestly think he's
Mm,
doing mind games at the moment. So I do think Saka will be fit. But who's
yeah,
the one player you think could be the difference maker?
that's a really good question. You know what? There's probably two or three players that come in my mind. I mean, Havertz has had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
I think it depends who I see Arteta playing because if Trossard's in that Odegaard role, that works really well, and he's able to get the
Mm,
balls up to Havertz, and they've just got a great connection. So and obviously Partey could play it right back, and if that's the case, then maybe things won't work well. I mean, Havertz obviously needs that midfield to help him, so Havertz is obviously a good option. He's I think we need a striker other than him, but I think he's the guy that can
Mm,
really help us. Like I said, Partey for me, obviously the first half of our Champions League game, he did really well and probably the best performance I've seen from him in a while. Um, so I think for me, he's obviously so important. But we mentioned Saka as well. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't think he'd be out for this long. I mean, he's missed about 2 games, and that feels like so long for Arsenal because without him, we're not really entertaining. We're not really, and that's quite sad to think. I mean, obviously Martinelli's exciting to watch, but
yeah,
he really makes it work on that right hand side. And Sterling's been coming in, but he's not doing what Saka can do. Um, I mean, we say Osaka, he might not score every game, but you can really guarantee he will change things for you, or you know, his crosses in the box, or what he can do going forward. So I think obviously the midfield's so pivotal, but I think in our attack, I think if we can win the game by doing that, because like we said before, we can defend as a team. We've done it with 10 men, so against Man City. So I think if we can put in a good performance like that, then we can do it. But I think it's so tough with the injuries we're having because it's fallen at a really wrong time. But I think, like I said, Saka being available for this is obviously amazing. And yeah, I feel more confident with him in the team because I know replacing him is usually Sterling, and
yeah,
Sterling's obviously not doing too much recently. If I'm being honest, when he's played, he's not really done enough. Um, but yeah, I'm just really relieved Saka's fit because this game is so important.
yeah. No, 100%, 100%. Let's go back into the live chat. Gary Richards, hello, tally ho. Tally ho, Douglas and Gunnar Gossip, big game on Sunday. Absolutely, oh, it is
Yep,
indeed.
Gary.
Reggie over on Gunnar Gossip, hello. Sadly, I don't think consistency will ever exist in football as everyone has their views and situations. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
And I still say to this day, Tosin should have been sent off. The
yeah,
exact same thing as Saliba. Um, Sanchez was backpedaling like Raya was for the Arsenal one.
yeah.
I just can't understand how it wasn't a red card. But there we go. Gary says it's going to be a bloody doozy of a game. I think it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, it's always exciting, isn't it? Really.
It is, yeah. Always is between Liverpool and Arsenal. I think it's one of the highest. I think
Yeah.
I read this. One of the highest scoring fixtures in Premier League history. Um,
Yeah, it's always had a lot of goals in it, and I think that's going to happen again. Which we won't be able to relax honestly throughout the game. It'll be stressful.
yeah, I would agree with that. Liverpool are more organised in defence.
Mm.
I would say that, but you do have one of the most informed defenders in the league at the moment in Gabriel. I mean, the amount of goals he scored, City away, Spurs
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Saliba and Gabriel are so different, but I'm happy. I'm just, the way Gabriel's going to be available for this game. Like we said, defensively, it's such a shame we won't be with Saliba. I mean, I'd hope to see Ben White in the Saliba, centre back role because they've worked well together. But I think with Gabriel, like you said, he's able to get us the goals, and those set pieces are always great quality to help. Obviously, Declan Rice as well is really good at the set pieces. It'd be nice to see Declan Rice actually get more goals this season, but I think so far,
Mm,
the team will know it's a massive game. But Gabriel, like I said, defensively we're very good. I just think all of our injuries are making it a bit inconsistent for the team at the back. So, but I do agree, Liverpool are so organised, which is going to be so tough for Arsenal at the weekend.
yeah, but I agree with that. Arsenal set pieces are a concern. I think you've scored the most set piece goals out of any Premier League team. I think since last season. I think.
Yeah, I mean, open play. Yes, we have scored goals, but set pieces really. That's our opportunity to score if we want to score against Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Elevator. Hope you are very, very well. Sam, oh my goodness, sorry if I butcher your name, Sam. Azubuki, I think that's how you say it. Hi, how are you? It's easy to figure out Arsenal have only lost one game against Bournemouth. We've only lost one game, but we can't lose to Liverpool. We've lost one game. We've lost to Nottingham Forest, who I've got to say that game. I think it kind of had a bit of a wake up call. We were like, okay, we've had a very good start. We lose one game, and then we've just been going on another winning run, which is very very good to see.
Yeah.
But Arsenal are dangerous. Let me just say that they're very very dangerous. Before the season started, you would suppose this was an easy win for Arsenal, but now I'm really confident, especially with the way Arsenal have started the season and
Mm.
their injuries. Well, they've only lost one game, elevator, but I
Yeah.
get what you mean. I think the injuries are a big big concern. How How would you how do you think the game will go? Considering that obviously we've got Kelleher in goal, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, no Allison. And then obviously David Ryan. Do you think the two keepers could be the difference as well?
Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, David Raya, I mean, if I am being honest, I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I would probably say to you, he's probably been the best goalkeeper from the season so far. Like, he's done amazing. Like, I know we have conceded goals, and the Leicester one, I think Leicester just, I don't think he could have done much about them. And I know when he came in, he made a lot of mistakes, and I
Yeah.
just think he's been incredible. And like for you guys, he's been amazing too. I mean, Allison, a big loss, but it's great that you've got a really good sort of backup goalkeeper because for
Mm,
Arsenal, I don't feel the same way. If anything happened to Raya, would be in big trouble. But um, I mean, I hope we don't concede a lot of goals. I mean, Raya's obviously made some incredible saves this season. And defensively, we obviously have to be very strong and at our best with Liverpool. But yeah, I feel knowing that Ryan's here, I feel more comfortable that he's in net. But it's still going to be tough. I still think there could be so many goals in this game. Like we said, it's always a thrilling game
mm,
to watch. I mean, if you're neutral, it's an exciting one, but for us, it's very hard and stressful for us.
uh, it certainly is. Chris says if it was 11v11, Arsenal would have ripped City apart. I agree. I think the way that they played in
Yeah.
that game, City were looking a little bit braggy.
Yeah, do you know what? That was a big surprise that because I missed the first like 10 minutes of that game and I saw City score and I thought, oh, it's gonna be one of them games. Then Calafiori got that goal and we gained that control back and then that red card came at the worst time and I did think to myself I would take a draw, but considering what happened and the way it happened, I thought like you said right at the end it was so draining. I was so annoyed, but yeah. I think we sort of know how to work Man City out now, which is obviously good. But yeah, that was a very difficult one to take.
I don't think Arsenal had a good start to the season, when being honest. They barely scraped one against Leicester and Southampton and got destroyed by Bournemouth. I think the one thing you can say elevator though, they find a neck of winning. And
Yeah,
that's a part of a really, really good team. And I do think that Arsenal are a very, very good side, so we have to be wary. The pace of Martinelli, the pace of Trossard, Havertz is having a very good season so
yeah,
far. Um, what do you make of your transfer activity? Because
yeah,
I kind of look at that, and I have been one saying this for ages: striker, 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 striker.
yeah,
You needed a striker, I think, in the summer. Obviously, Calafiori, very, very good. Mikel Marino, who I think will come good. I think he will
yeah.
come good eventually. But what were your feelings of the transfer activity, and obviously the ones that went out as well?
Yeah, I mean, the outgoings have been great, I think. Obviously, Nketiah going. The Smith Rowe one, I would have kept him personally just for another season.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, Reece Nelson obviously going as well on loan. So, and obviously Ramsdale going, I think he had to go. I think for him, do you know what, with Ramsdale, I felt like he could have gone to a better club, like a club
Mm,
with no disrespect to Southampton, that maybe a top six team, like a Newcastle or something like that. So for me, I felt a bit like he could have done a bit better, but it was the right decision for him to leave. Um, the players that have come in, obviously Calafiori for me, I've been so impressed with him, and I'm really loving him, and it's a shame he's obviously injured for a few weeks now. So for him, he's definitely been the right signing. And Marino, I honestly don't really have an opinion on him right now because from what I've seen, he's not blown me away yet, and I know he has to have time. Um, but for me, like you said, I would put a striker over like a midfielder as a priority. Like a mid, we need reinforcements in that midfield. Party's probably going to leave in a season or two, but um, the striker, it's so obvious we need one, and yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we haven't, made that decision. And I think with the
Mm,
Sterling thing, if we'd have brought him in with a striker, I think you could say we've done a lot of good, and I think fans would have been happy with that. But it felt to me like the Sterling one was a panic buy. Like we had to pick someone. I mean, Reece
mm,
Nelson's gone out, and Reece Nelson's usually Saka's backup. So I think Arteta thought we need to bring someone in now, before things get worse. So
mm,
yeah, I think I felt a bit underwhelmed. I felt a bit like you said, this is our chance to win the league this season. I mean, last season, I felt quite proud, but obviously we fell short, and we're,
yeah.
we're going. It's like a pattern. We're going through these patterns where we keep falling short, and it's not good enough. So yeah, I mean, I know January will be coming. I don't really think we'll bring a striker in for that. But if you ask me about the summer, I think other positions Arteta's prioritised, which he probably shouldn't have. I mean, I think California, looking back, that was a priority because I know we've got Tierney, but obviously he's injured, and Zinchenko's, going to leave soon, and he's injured a lot, so that was a priority. But like you said, I'm looking at this and thinking, why haven't we got a striker in? Had they seen what we're seeing? It's quite frustrating.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
there will be players out there that he could buy that he just isn't. So yeah, I think we should have done more really for the season that we have.
SG Gunnar Ruben said he decided to bench Salah for this week's FPL team. Wish me luck.
He's gonna score against us. That was a mistake.
Well, it could be. It could be that as well. In my opinion, I'm not really enough Arsenal for the title race, but I think they have to beat us on Sunday, or it's going to be extremely difficult. Yeah, we've all said that. We've definitely all said that. Romy Wan Kenobi, hello. Hey all, Douglas, are you guys ready to get slapped up again on the 27th of November? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. One, because I don't think you're as secure than you have been, and two,
Yeah.
I think that Vinicius Junior is on absolute fire. So yeah, that'll be a very very good game. But obviously you got El Clasico this weekend as well to look forward to. It's Saturday 8 p.m. This season reminds me of the way we started the 1920 season. Started the season absolutely ruthlessly. I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
would agree with that. Also, don't you guys find it funny that Aston Villa go from 17 points in the 15-16 season to the top of the UCL? It's absolutely mad, but it just goes to show what a job Unai Emery has done. And it also goes to show that, if you've got faith in players like Super John McGinn,
Yeah.
and of Ollie Watkins and John Duran as well, Villa have been very, very good. Villa have been very, very good. Sam is back. I don't think this game will have too many goals. I think with us, we do struggle to take our chances. We have a lot of them and struggle to take them. Difficult game against Liverpool. Yes, absolutely. Guys, please remember to hit the like button. Please remember to hit that subscribe button on Gunnar Gossip TV and on the Dugout Football channel as well. And yeah, we'll go into more about obviously the game ahead. Now, I'll go back to last season because last season's game at Emirates was a 3-1 win. It's safe to say we were the architects of our own downfall because Alisson and Van Dijk decided to basically not go for a bouncing ball. And
Do you know that?
Martinelli scored.
Who did you think was at fault for that? Did you think it was Van Dijk or did you think it was Alisson? Because I look at that and I just couldn't ever figure out who I thought was at fault for that.
I think they're both at fault because one comes out basically you'd expect it to get the ball, and then the other one is basically leaving it. But the one thing you don't do is let a ball bounce, and that was very criminal from us as well. So I think they're both at fault. And obviously Trossard did score the third as well. Konate did get sent off in that game.
That.
as well. So I kind of look at this game and I'm like, is there going to be a red card? I mean, obviously, you would
Probably
obviously hope
for
that it
us.
wouldn't be for Arsenal, but Anthony Taylor is the referee. I mean, I'm kind of glad it's not Michael Oliver. Let's be honest. Um, could the referee have an impact on Sunday?
I think for Arsenal, I don't think the players are going to think like this, but they've just got to be sensible and clever. Like I said before, if referees for any team can give you a reason to be sent off, they will. So we just need to be, for Arsenal, it'd be great if it could be like a professional, comfortable, not comfortable really, because it's never a comfortable win, but just kind of an organised performance from Arsenal and keeping our heads down. And if we get a yellow card, Arteta's, if there's any substitutes we can make. I mean, like we said, our squad's a bit at the moment not too good, but
Mm,
um, if we can make those decisions quickly before it happens, because I know in our Champions League game I saw Ben White get a yellow card and I thought, is this going to happen again? But Arteta, did take him off. So the players have got to be level-headed. For you guys, I don't think you'll get any red cards. I don't see it happen, but for us, we've just got to be very careful because, like, for this game as well, for Liverpool, if we're on 10 men, then I don't think we could beat you with 10 men. 11 men, there's still a chance we can do it.
yeah,
But it wouldn't be great for either side if any decisions went that way.
yeah. And as I was actually saying, it's the highest scoring fixture. Obviously, we had a 2-2 sorry, 1-1 at Anfield. And then the season before, I think it was 3-2. It was like when Martinelli, I think, scored after 35 seconds or something.
Yeah,
And
that day, I
obviously,
think I remember that, yeah.
and it was Thiago gave away a penalty. I think Jesus scored that day as well. Arteta, a lot of people are still divided whether he is obviously the right man
Yeah.
to take Arsenal forward. If he doesn't win a trophy this season, where do you stand with the manager?
Do you know what? I like Arteta, and like I said before, you can see there's progress being made, and it's so hard because if Arteta left tomorrow, we'd all speak about what he's won, and he's won
Yeah,
two community shields. I mean, community shields aren't really big things, but and he's
yeah,
won an FA Cup. So it's like Ferguson, Wenger, Klopp. When they've all left, you look at what they've won. I know you look at other factors like, how they got the best out of different players like Wenger and Henry, all of that. But it's a problem that we're having because I know he's not responsible for everything, and when we miss chances, that's on the players. But at the same time, this season we have to win something. I think if it came to the end of the season and we hadn't won anything again, and we had maybe a similar season or came third, I would start to sort of worry because
mm,
I do like Arteta, but there's always a part of me that thinks in my head, can he get us over that line? I know we've spoken about before, Man City are so tough to be up against because we have to win really every game or not lose a game. Or, you've got to be at that level.
yeah,
But I also think if we're not going to win the league this season, that's one thing. So why not go for other competitions? The Champions League, obviously, I don't think we've got the squad to win it, but I also think why not go for it? Like I said before, you know, we could get a good run and we could get to a final against a team that we can beat. But yeah, the League Cup, not it's interesting. Not a lot of fans like that, but you've won it plenty of times, and it's really boosted your season,
yeah,
really helped the players. So I just think
yeah,
why not go for that as well? But with the league right now, I'm not feeling confident, but I think as well. Fans will probably have questions at the end of the season if we don't win anything. And I think rightly so because last time we won something was I think it was around lockdown. I think it was during that time, actually, lockdown, because I remember no fans were there. So it's been a very long time, and I think these players now need to win it. And like I've always said, players are going to look elsewhere if not winning things, and we're going to start losing maybe some of these players. So, yeah, we've got to really win something now. We should have won something last season, but
yeah,
we put it all into the league, and like we said before, we need to have a look at the other trophies. If we can't really win the league, then we have to keep our options open with like the FA Cup and like the League Cup, because you guys have won that, and that's really, really helped your season a lot.
Yeah, we know how you feel, especially going up against Manchester City.
Yeah.
It's never easy. And I think as well, the seasons we had with City, we would usually be going like, one season it'd be obviously us winning it, then
Yeah.
City would obviously be going on a big winning streak. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's been times where you're like, yeah, City have always lost a game, whether it's at Anfield, whether it's at the Emirates, and then you're like, okay, it's all about taking
Yeah.
advantage of that. Unfortunately, it's one thing, and it's just so demoralising and so draining. Keeping going.
Yeah.
This is my main worry with Arsenal, is that they've had so many seasons of going up against Manchester City that a drop off is probably going to happen eventually. Hopefully not this season, but it will take its toll. So I honestly think going for the cups definitely would be one to look at, because I
Yeah.
felt last season you went out of those cups way too early.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember, what was it, the third or fourth round that we played you guys? Because that was quite early on, I think.
Third, I think that was the
Yeah.
third. We were in the fifth round, I think, against Manchester United.
Yeah, because yeah, that was right. Because do you know what it is like? Even though we have you early on, that shouldn't be an excuse. We should still go for it and put a strong team out. But I can get, playing you guys so early on. We'd want you
Yeah.
probably in a final or a semi-final. Um, yeah, I mean, we've done it before with the FA Cup. I remember when we won it with Arteta, we had Man City that might in the semi-final, I
Hmm.
think, and I thought to that, it's over, we're not winning that, and obviously we did the unexpected and we won, and then we got to that final against Chelsea, and I knew we would probably win that. Against Chelsea in finals, we turn up in a weird way.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just think, like you said, I don't think we're putting strong enough teams out, because I think I think Arteta respects him, but I don't think he's probably putting a strong enough team out. Because I'd rather maybe, if we came second or third this season, but we won an FA Cup, a League Cup, I'd feel quite happy knowing that we've got the silverware.
Hmm.
Um, and like you said, it's quite draining, really. I mean, for us fans, for Arsenal, you're going every season falling short. Like, imagine for the players how draining that must be.
Yeah.
Not getting over that line and having to do it every season. So yeah, I think we just got to really make the most this season of these like cup competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. Elevator says if you're Arsenal, you have to take your
Yeah,
chances against Liverpool. Absolutely. Sam says we can't go to 10 men against Liverpool. If we do, I think we will draw or
yeah,
lose. Um, Romeo One Kenobi, all Arsenal need is a deadly striker like Isaac, and they're eating good for a few years. Actually, speaking of Swedish players, um, Victor Gyökeres, is that a player you might potentially go for in January?
yeah. I have heard of it, like him being linked to us. I mean, I know a lot of Arsenal fans were happy about him, and do you know what? I think that's a good possibility.
Mm-hmm.
With January, I don't think we'd do too much. I mean, we did get Trossard in January a few seasons back, and that's been amazing. But I think summer's the big one, really, isn't it? So I think he'd be a great player to have. I know, like the strikers now, there's not many as there used to be, but there's still players out there to buy to improve us. So I think he'd be a great shout, to be honest, if you could join us. But I don't know when that would be. I mean, January's not usually the best one, because a lot of teams like to keep their players. So it'd
Yeah.
probably happen for me in the summer if we did get him.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris says, Romeo Anconia saying Isaac is the man to push him forward. League Cup and FA Cup is a trophy. I don't get why certain Arsenal fans who have low IQ say bigger fish to fry, etc., then you win nothing. Sophie is one of the sensible ones.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting because when I do my shows and I speak about that, there's so many people that are like, "Oh, the League Cup's, rubbish," but at the same time, it's a trophy, and we've not
Hmm.
won it. I don't remember the last time we've won it, but it's been like, I think it's like 19, like 70 or 60 or something like a long time like that. Um, and the
What, the
thing with
League Cup?
Arteta, yeah, it's been a very long
Oh
time.
wow.
I don't, I don't know what year it was, but it's quite far back. I mean, when someone told me, I was quite shocked. So,
Mm,
um, yeah, why not win that? Yeah, I think it'd be great to win.
absolutely. I was stunned when you said 1970. I was like, what? Um, that's mental. That's mental when you look at it that way. But okay, every got points for Arsenal for games that they went down to 10 men. Yes, I would agree with that. So who are the who's the one player that you fear in this Liverpool side? Obviously, I know you can't say Diogo Jota, but is there anyone in this Liverpool team that you fear the most?
I think, do you know what? It's going to be the obvious, but I think with Mo Salah, I think he's so amazing. I mean, for us, I mean, we sometimes can deal with keeping him quiet or trying to manage him, but I think he's going to cause us a lot of problems, for that game. He always likes to score against us as well. So, obviously,
Yeah.
like I said before, Jota, quite happy that he's not um, going to be playing. It helps us. He was like one of those
Mm,
players like Firmino, just loves scoring against us. So, yeah, he's going to be difficult. Another player, I do like him, England, Trent. I love Trent. But I think for him, he's so amazing to watch, but he's so difficult to kind of deal with when he's doing those balls up the top
yeah.
and in those free kicks as well. So I think collectively, I think you're going to be hard to play against. I mean, like we said, Arsenal do find ways to sort of fight back and win, but what I've noticed recently, which will probably be good for you guys, is that we're making things a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Like we said, that Leicester win, that Southampton win should have been a comfortable win, and it's not being.
Yeah.
So we'll probably give you more chances or more opportunities than you need to. But we mentioned Riot before. I know he's doing quite well recently, but I think, like someone said before, Liverpool do seem quite organised. I think that's going to be a problem for Arsenal. But those are the sort of players that I think they're going to cause us problems. But I think as a whole, you're very strong this season. I think it's going to be a tough game. Absolutely.
I agree with this. You hand Spurs an FA Cup or Carabao, they're celebrating now like a World Cup win.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Sorry,
Oh,
Spurs fans.
yeah. Do you know what it is like? If Arsenal won like the Carabao Cup, I'd be happy, but I wouldn't be like over the moon, because it's not on the level of like a league or. But like you said, Spurs haven't won anything in a long time, so that winning them would
Yeah.
be like the biggest win for them.
The only one person I fear in Liverpool is Arne Slot because he looks so much like Doctor Evil. Okay.
I love that.
That
So
is
random.
that's taking me back. That is taking me back. So, how do you think Arsenal will line up on Sunday against Liverpool?
Right, I'll go. You know what, defensively, like I just don't even know who's available at this point. In the attack, I mean, it's so interesting. I do not know what Arteta's going to do, but I'd personally think we should start with Havertz up top.
Mm-hmm.
On the left, Martinelli. You know what? He's a threat. He might not score or assist, but he's got that pace, which will be difficult for Liverpool. Saka's obviously going to play. I'm like so sure. I know Arteta said he's available. I'd be surprised if he was on the bench, to be honest with you. So I expect him to do play on the right. The midfield we've seen like Marino quite a lot. So I think for him, I wouldn't really start him for this. To be honest, I'd stick with Trossard, Partey and Rice. They work really well together. Partey's doing really well at the moment. Um, but I don't know if Partey's going to play it right back because I don't actually know the options that we have. I mean, I know we've got Kivior, which you'll probably play in that position, but Partey's definitely for me got to start in the midfield. Obviously, I don't know what the latest is with Timber, but if he's available, I'd
Mm,
play him. I'd probably play him, Ben White, Gabriel, maybe Kivior, but obviously Califoy being out is came at the worst time because
yeah.
Tommy Asu's injured and like we've got so many injury-prone players. Honestly, I don't really know what the latest is with. I know Tierney was seeing it a game for Arsenal, in the Champions League, and
Mm.
he seems like he's probably injured or he's just sat there. Because but left back is, I don't know what Zinchenko's situation is actually. I mean, if he's available, I wouldn't want to play him because he's not too good against defensively against kind of Liverpool. But if we don't have any options, then you'll probably have to play. And yeah, David Raya in goal. Like I said before, he's done really well, really amazing job. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what Arteta's going to do. I have a feeling he might start Mourinho in midfield, and I prefer Trossard in that position. But yeah, we just have to see. But we still got a strong attacking line, but it's just defensively that we're probably going to have to make a lot of changes.
Yeah, I think the Liverpool team picked itself. There's obviously no Arsenal, there's no Harvey Elliott, there's no Diogo Jota, so I think it goes Kelleher in goal. I think Trent right back, Robbo left back. I don't want to see Tsimikas there. The other night, I don't know what it is with Tsimikas, right? He's so good with his set pieces, so good with his corners, so good with his free kicks. But see when he's trying to defend, and when he's got the ball at his feet, I always worry. So no, Robbo left back. Then it'll be Van Dijk and Konate. Those two seem to be making a partnership again, which is very very good to see. I also think as well when you look at Kwanzaa as well. Kwanzaa is one of those players who it's going to take a bit of time for him to get sort of used to being back on the Liverpool side. And I just think the way that Konate and Van Dijk are playing, those are the two that have probably got the main sort of centre back partnership, I would say. So yeah, Konate, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, and here's the interesting one. Do I go Grav Maka? Do I go Grav Maka or do I go Grav Jones? Because Jones I thought was excellent against Chelsea. I thought he was really, really good against Chelsea. Chat, let me know. Grav Maka Jones or Grav Maka Soboslai? Because for me, I honestly think Jones might start this game. I honestly think he could.
I think if he's been a better player and he's played against Chelsea and he's been good, I think you should start him. Really, I mean, it's obviously this game will be a different game to the Chelsea game, but it's always a competitive game. But I think you've always got to play the player that's really in the form, has that confidence.
Yeah, I'll go Grav Maka.
See what the chat is saying. See what they think as well.
It's not hard decision. Chat. Let me know. Grav Maka Jones or Grav Maka Soboslai or Grav Jones Soboslai. Do let me know. No, I made mine up. Grav Jones Soboslai. I think. Oh, actually, it's so difficult because Maka the other night got one in the what's we call it the private area. So I hope he'll be okay. But the thing is about Soboslai is that he may not look so good on the sort of the term of goals and assists. But what I would say is that he is so good defensive work. He's so good at the really, really dirty stuff, as he said in his press conference the other night. All right, okay. Grab Maka Soboslai. I think
it's a hard decision because they're all good and good.
Yeah. I think I would grab Maka Soboslai. Then it'll be Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, and then Darwin Núñez up front. Who I think he could be a bit of one of those ones where he's kind of gone under the radar slightly. So when you watch him against Chelsea, he looked really good when he came on against Chelsea, and then the other night against Leipzig, yes, he got his goal, which was a very very good goal. Probably should have had a penalty as well. because I think if you look at the way that he took that ball, Willie Orban cleaned him out. How a penalty wasn't given was beyond me. So I think he could give Gabriel and Kiwior a
Yeah.
big problem. So yeah, I'll go with that. Kelleher, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robbo, Grav, Maka, Soboslai, Diaz, Salah, and Nunes. That's what I'm going to
Diaz.
go for.
I love Diaz. I think he sort of reminds me a bit of like Sanchez at Arsenal when he was here. Like he's just such a joy to watch, and he plays like he's enjoying himself so much on the pitch. And Nunes is an interesting one because I think people expected more of him, haven't they? And I know
Yeah.
he can get the goals, but what have you made of him so far? I'd just love to know because for me, I remember Arsenal like linked to him in the summer or January. I don't know which transfer window it was, but I think we were linked to him, and I was just like, that's just came out of nowhere. But he's probably better than what we have.
That was started by an Arsenal account, and there honestly was nothing in it.
I know because it was so random. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I seen that, and I was like, "There's no way Darwin Núñez is going to Arsenal." Like, I
Yeah.
even saw I think I saw like Arsenal fans making videos about it. Like, there's nothing in the Darwin Núñez story.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing in that story. So the fact that was even a potential transfer rumor was beyond me. But it's a difficult one with Darwin. He's had to. He's had to sort of bide his time to get into this team.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Jota's injury, I think Jota's obviously the main starter.
Yeah.
I think Gakpo's been very good on the left, even though Diaz is definitely the one to watch on the left. And then obviously, it'd be very, very good if Chiesa was available because obviously give Salah a bit of a rest, but he's not. So I think I did say at the start of the season I do think it's a make or break season, because I think if it doesn't go well for him under Slot, I could see him being replaced.
Yeah.
I think as well. I think there was a wee article came out the other day that apparently it said like he's lost his guardian. Darwin Núñez has lost his guardian. That turned out to be Jurgen Klopp. So I think he is like scoring goals is what a striker is there for. Is the one thing. But I do think he's at a crossroads, and I think this is a big season for him. He needs to deliver. He needs to deliver. It's all good scoring against Leipzig, which is very, very good. But it's the big games. It's the big games where I think he's obviously looked upon. But he's Captain Chaos. We like to call him Captain Chaos, and I think that's his name, to say the very, very least. Asaya Crump, hello. Is Saka confirmed to be available? Arteta has come out and said that he is.
Yeah, because I think when he was asked a few days ago, he sort of said, I'm not sure, but for this game, he's definitely said he's available. So I mean, I don't think he'll be on the bench, but I expect Saka to start this. But yeah, he's definitely going to be available for this.
Yeah. What's this? Douglas, have you ever thought of doing prem predictions with an Irish guy so you can give him a good forfeit? And so what forfeit would it be? Like, I like the Irish guy. I think his content is absolutely fantastic, but there is no way on this earth I would be able to get on prem predictions with an Irish guy. As much as I would like to, it's not happening. It's not happening. But that would be a dream. That would be a dream. Hello, Niall. No, Luca. I don't know what Luca's doing actually. I didn't. I've always been planning a preview with Soph. We've been chatting for like the last couple of days, and we were trying to get something organised. And I'm glad that we managed to get something organised. Oh, and he says hello, Douglas and Soph. Right, Chris has answered the question. He has answered the question. So he's going Kelleher, Trent, Kanai, Van Dijk, Rowe. So that's the same as me. Gravenberch, the real Big Mac. I like that. The good-looking Davy Jones, right? He's Sobbers like, right? So Monin is Lucho. I think it could be that. And then he said Jones should be rewarded with a start. I agree. Most definitely.
Deserves to start.
Yeah. Hopefully Jota is back. Doubt it. It's a rib injury. Yeah, it is as well. And Elevator says it's 1-1 Fenerbahce. So Fenerbahce have obviously equalised against Manchester United. To be honest, I forgot that game was even on.
United are just getting going from worse, aren't they, to worse at this point? Yeah, that's bad, but I'm enjoying it.
It's almost got to the fact of because it's almost gone to the fact that we feel sorry for them. And
yeah, oh god, do you know what? It's because Arsenal were at a stage like this not long ago, but I can't lie, it's just nice to see this downfall. It's quite funny, but you do feel sorry for certain people that are nice. But yeah, I don't think anyone's complaining.
I have a lot of Manchester United friends, and I don't feel sorry for their football team, but I do feel sorry for them sort of suffering it. Sophie Richards, of course, that we both know. Saeed. I think as well the guys are obviously going out to Turkey to watch the game. As well, Manchester United could honestly get to a point where they are as bad as Chelsea 22-23 or 15-16. They've been that bad. Well, I've been saying it for ages. Ten Hag's not lasting the season. No way is he.
I think the next few games, well, I mean, to be honest with you, the Villa one was pretty bad for them, but it should have been he should have gone, but I think he's got a few games left. I think so. He's got to get a win or he's gone.
Well, we've got West Ham, Leicester, Chelsea. You've got them coming up soon, haven't you? December, I think I read. The midweek fixtures.
Yeah, that. Do you know what? I don't mind if they're going to sack Ten Hag, but I want them to sack him after we've played them. So we've got them. It's a little while, I think, till we have them, but it's around Christmas. But that's going to be hard, actually. I think them playing Leicester will be quite hard because we played them. It was going well, but Leicester can just come out of nowhere and create chances. So that's quite.
I think as well. You've got Newcastle and Chelsea coming up very soon as well, like back to back, haven't you?
Yeah, Newcastle's quite soon actually. I think it might be in November time or in a month or two. But Chelsea's that game. Chelsea have had a better start this season, so that'll be quite a difficult one.
Yeah, maybe a big surprise. I can't let you go without getting a score prediction. So are you going to go your head or your heart? What are you saying?
Do you know what? It's interesting. We sat here talking about the game, and I can't think about what score prediction. I hate to say this, but I just see a draw. I see it like a 2-2, unfortunately.
2-2.
I mean, obviously there's a chance we can win, and I think when I see the lineup on the day for Arsenal, I'd probably have an idea. I mean, if Partey's a right back, then I think you can win this. But I just see a draw happening. It's going to be a very competitive game for both sides. Obviously, a draw wouldn't really be a great result for Arsenal. But it's. I think I see a lot of goals in this game, to be honest. So I'm going 2-2.
You're going 2-2. Well, it's a really, really tricky game to predict.
It's hard because Arsenal are doing great and you're doing good, so the form.
I know.
Yeah.
Head says 1-1. Heart says we sneak it 2-1. But it's gonna be a very, very tricky game. I know. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. Chris has actually just reminded me. This is your next 4 games. after Liverpool, all the way. Preston, Newcastle, Inter, and Chelsea. That is tough.
Do you know what? Do you know what? It's interesting because weirdly we do good away. I've noticed, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at home there's the fans and they're amazing, but away we're not too bad. Um, I think Inter are going to be tough. Obviously
I
we've
could see
won.
you winning against
Yeah,
Newcastle. I think there's a bit of bad blood there, especially with what happened last season.
yeah. Newcastle, obviously their ground. It's such a horror. It's like a hostile place. It's like Anfield. It's a massive ground. It's always tough, but. I think Newcastle. I think we've got a better squad. I think we can beat them. But Chelsea, I hate them so much, or we have to win that one. But they're obviously doing good at the moment. So, do you know what? It'd be interesting when Odegaard, if he'll be back for any of them fixtures, because
Yeah.
if he is, I'll feel a lot more confident. But yeah, we're not in the not the best sort of thing for us right now.
Elevator says, I think Arsenal won Liverpool 2. I think we'll be 2-0 at the half time. Arsenal scores second half, make it nervy. Hang on.
Mm,
We seem to be doing that at the moment. We seem to be very, very compact at the back. Chris says Arsenal won Liverpool 1. I wanted to go for a win. I'm confident, but it's still away to Arsenal at the end of the day. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And as we say, form does go out the window. Also, I can see this being like the Chelsea game last week, to be honest. I can as well. I can as well. It'll be a very nervy game. That's all. Chris says I'm the same as Douglas on the prediction. Yeah,
yeah,
head over heart, heart over head. Sorry, heart over head. Definitely, but no, like it's always a good game between Liverpool and Arsenal. And as we say, it is one of those games where form does go out the window, but it is
yeah.
one of the highest scoring games in
Yeah, I
Premier League
don't.
history.
Yeah, I don't ever see this as like a 0-0 ever. I
Never.
mean, even if it ends 1-1, it'll be quite a tough game. Like it will be quite nerve-wracking the whole way through. Because like, I remember we've played you before and we've scored first, and I know we scored before half time once, and it was like 2-1 or something. I thought
Yeah,
I'm going to relax for the 15 minutes, but when the second half comes on, I know it's going to be
yeah,
so much. Things are always going to happen, but yeah, I love this fixture. It's always exciting.
yeah, absolutely. Hello, Rich. Big up,
You're right.
guys. Missed most of this because I'm watching United struggle again at the moment. Oh, goodness. Rich is another one I feel sorry for.
I know he's so nice. He doesn't deserve this. I do feel bad for him.
He's yeah, he is. It's funny. I had him on my audio pod the other day, and I had a comedian who was a Manchester United fan as well, and the contrast between the two was quite something. Um, One who I've seen like so like optimistic and like
Yeah,
began to be pessimistic. It's just the way United are going at the moment. It's just so strange. But obviously, I think Man United would want to win that because it was Mourinho, of course, as well. And as United TV says, smash the likes. There have been like five or 4-4 games between Liverpool and Arsenal, and a few 4-3s and 3-3s as well. Always a cracker. And you're struggling into your former manager, Jose Mourinho, who you sacked after a 3-1 loss to Liverpool. Oh yes, we always do. Always do remember that. As well. And I'm not making any more Man United fans feel bad, but 3 years ago today, we did beat you 5-0. So
oh,
I'll
that's
just leave it
nice.
at that. Sophie, it has been an absolute pleasure to obviously have you on here, and obviously I know you obviously your own channel. And by the way, congratulations on 3K. I don't think I've said that yet. I'm getting very very close now.
Yeah,
I
let's
think I'm
get
about
to
7 away.
3K now. You're getting so close. We need to get you there. Because I know, do you know what?
Yes,
Because I know, you've had a lot on, you've had to take time away, and you come back, and it's great to see you doing your content again. And it's hard to
thank
find
you.
the time sometimes. I know for you with your little one, it's hard, but yeah, let's get you to 3K now. And thank you for having me on. It was really really enjoyable, and it's been lovely to chat with all of you as well in the comments. But it'll be an amazing, exciting game, whoever wins or whatever the score is.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure we will either be speaking either obviously before the game or after the game.
Yeah,
But I'm
definitely.
pretty sure we'll be doing that. But yeah, like please go and check out Going Across the TV. It is in the title. It is in the description. Just click Going Across the TV, and they'll go over their vibe as well. And yeah, it should be a very interesting game. Very nervy game, I think, as well. But if you have obviously missed it on playback, please do remember to hit the like button. Please remember to hit that subscribe button on my channel and obviously on Gunnar Gossip TV. And yeah, let us know how you are feeling ahead of the game. Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans, let us know how you are feeling ahead of what is going to be a massive, massive game at the weekend. Because I was looking at the fixtures and like City should probably thump Southampton. If we're
Yeah,
being honest, they
yeah.
should. So it puts all the pressure onto both Arsenal and Liverpool. But will the Gunners move back to within a point of Liverpool, or will Liverpool go 7 clear of Arsenal? Well, there's only one way to find out. We will find out on Sunday for a very, very interesting game. From myself and Sophie on the Dugger Football channel and Gunnar Gossip TV, it is good night.